Now tomorrow I am leaving from here to the United States. So now this is one party sort of meeting. So last few days I really feel some meaningful choices. I have 3 commitments. Number 1 commitment as a human being. 7 million human beings, same human being. Mentally, emotionally, physically, same. And in emotion, some constructive emotion and destructive emotion. We all have these both. But basic human nature is more compassionate because compassion brings together. We are social animals. And also, you see, the way we begin our life from mother and parents, also the immense affection, love, is the very basis of our survival. That also, according to scientists, after birth, next few weeks, simply brought us physical touch. It's a key factor for proper development of the brain. Then there are some more sophisticated reasons according to scientific finding. So we are basically born from parents' affection. Therefore, we are physically compassionate for the species of monkey. Even animal, which was come from their mother, there is biologically some kind of emotional feeling. You see, come closer. Okay, good, thank you. So then, in our daily life, you see, when someone shows us smile, affection, you feel safe, happy. If someone shows a little bit negative face, we little bit of uncomfort, and through that way, suspicion. So, in our daily life, the compassion of the atmosphere is the real basis of our joyful life. And then, we as a social animal, friendship is very essential. Friendship, not not dependent on money, fame, education, or physical standing. But real friendship entirely depends on trust. Trust based on affection, love. When you show genuine sort of sense of concern of their well-being, then trust will come. So therefore, and then I think our health, physical health, our medical scientists, they found constant fear, constant anger, hatred, actually eating our immune system. Fear destroys calmness of mind. Because the calmness, calm mind, very much related with self-confidence and the inner strength. Anger destroys inner strength. Anger usually, I think, out of fear, anger comes. Out of suspicion, fear, anger comes. So I think anger also part of our mind, but dominant our mind is love, compassion. From the day of birth, even before birth, while we still in mother's womb, the mother's peace of mind, very crucial factor for the unborn child. Mother's fear, anger, very bad for the unborn child. So our life starts that way. Then everybody, 7 million people, we all got nourished by mother's milk. Then at the end of our life, it is just much happier, surrounded by trusted friends. So, affection, love, very important at the beginning of our life and also at the end of our life. So between there, sometimes we feel we are independent. I do not need any affection. I can manage. I think that's short-sighted. Those of the rich people, oh, I have plenty of money. So the human affection is not important. I have great education, professor, or like that. And that person was passing through very much of the sad movement. Your money failed to bring joyfulness. Your education will not protect you from that sorrow or pains. I often tell you, when we face some mentally uncomfortable feeling due to certain sort of trouble, then if you want to get some consolation from your ring, diamond ring, with expectations of consolation, the diamond ring, no potential, no ability to show you affection. But instead of diamond ring, cat, small cat, or dog, if you really feel very sad, and then they may show you some sort of what I was saying, Kasa, yes, affection, they show. And dog and cat, they have not much of the ability to talk, so they only can. So, like that. So therefore, affection, love, compassion, this is very, very important for our life, happy life. And the very purpose of our life, I believe happiness, joyfulness is purpose of our life. Quite clear that the individual completely lost hope, then that very sort of mental thinking shorten our life. And then worst thing, the person, someone completely lost sort of hope, then suicide also, or drugs, eventually suicide take place. So hope, so therefore our life very much based on hope, but there's no guarantee what kind of future come, but hoping something good. Even today we face some problem, still give hope, or I can overcome like that. So hope means something for something good, something happiness. So therefore, our life, the very purpose of our life, very much to do with happy life. Okay. Now that joyfulness, oh. Oh no, sorry. At the beginning, a little bit cold, so I asked you to just now a little bit hot. I always consider, acting completely informally. The formality. Oh, I want to tell you one story. Many years ago, in Mexico, there is one interfaith meeting. There are some different sort of religious representatives, delegates, different religious tradition. Then one Japanese Buddhist, you see, when he, I think some kind of prayer, carry, as their tradition. You see, his rosary is like that. Then somehow, there was a string, the string of the rosary broke. Then some bead of the rosary is scattered, but still he remained. Nothing happened. He still carried like that. So then I was very much struck. So they want to pick the scattered beads, but he still not that. You see, too much formality. I think there's almost, I feel somewhere a self-torture. Right? Then, if may I say so, this is Great Britain. So, when I was young, there's a life medicine that I received regularly. So one picture, I remember the Her Majesty. You see, I think some ceremony in some of the African state or something. So she gives some, read some statement. And beside Her Majesty, the Prince Philip is standing. Then, wind. He said, Her Majesty sort of clothes, more dignified sort of clothes, the wind. But I think American photographer, you see, quite strange, you see, they took the photo. So you see, Queen, nothing happened like that. No. Then Prince Philip also. So sometimes you see, too much formality is actually, I think, extra barrier. I think when we're born, no formality. When we die, no formality. Maybe a little bit dirty. When we carry some water in the bathroom, no formality. So basic human nature is, let's say, compassionate. Now some scientists carry some investigation, experiment. Some scientists confirm basic human nature is more compassionate. So this is really a hopeful sign. Now, reason, a lot of problems which we are facing, actually our own creation. Nobody wants problem, but many problems created by ourselves. Why? Now myself, second, I am the first. So they are, we very much sort of emphasis importance of secondary level of differences, including rich state and a different country, different nationality, within different color, different sort of race, within same race, same faith. Again, we make a distinction, rich and poor, like that. So most of these man-made problems caused by with too much emphasis secondary level of differences. If we consider seriously the basic level, all are same human being. They want happy life. I want, also you want a happy life. So if someone hurts me, I feel very uncomfortable. So if I hurt them, they also feel uncomfortable. So according to your own experience, you see, restrain, harming them. If possible, serve them, help them. If not, at least restrain harming them. That's the meaning of ahimsa. Although the person who introduced me already mentioned all my important part of my thought. So not necessary to repeat. So like that. So therefore, you see, my number one commitment is promotion of human value. That's compassion, love. Genuine love there, forgiveness automatically comes. Tolerance also comes. So now we are lacking emphasis toward that. Violence, including this war, past war, you see, on the level of secondary, level of differences. My nation, their nation. Now the reality, today's world, unlike past. Past is a different country, is more or less self-sufficient. So at that time, the concept of our victory, defeat, let's say the others, or enemy, or who create some disagreement with you, that's some extent we can say your victory. Now, today's world, no longer that reality. Destroy your neighbor is actually destroy yourself. Because economy and many fields heavily interdependent. Future of East depend on West. Western future very much depend on East. Similarly, North and South like that. Then global warming, national boundary, no regret. Global economy, no national boundary or religious boundary. So now today's reality, we have to make effort to promote sense of oneness of 7 billion human beings. Then other problems on the due to secondary level, so when we face that, we must go down, we are saying. And then the reconciliation, dialogue. That's the human way. We have this beautiful language. So once they come across some danger of conflict, then talk. In order to successful dialogue, it is impossible to successful dialogue to come a strong sort of feeling, I should win, they should defeat. then how can develop dialogue? So dialogue, you must respect their right, their interest. And as my introduction, the introduction is mentioned, something like 50-50. Like that. That's a human way. Respect their interest, their right. So, I quite often mentioning 20th century become century of bloodshed. Immense violence. Over some, according to some history, over 200 million people killed. So that immense violence brought some good shape, new shape of this world. Then some people may justify the immense violence, but that's not the case. Beginning of the 21st century, now we are facing some problems, killing, limited war, here and there. Now today, big number of refugees, you see, coming from Arab area, like that. So these immense unstable or sad event, these things, I feel, due to mistake, or past mistake. 21st century, 20th century, people, you see, military force, it's an ultimate method, you see, to solve problem. So First World War, Second World War, Korean War, Vietnam War, this. So use more violence. Very nature of violence, just simply control your physical, not mind. For temporarily control physical, in mind, more hatred, more feeling of revenge. So then, violence, endless, violence, counter-violence, like that. We have to, whenever we come across some problem, we use human way of approach, not violent way, not use force. Human way of approach, but that's dialogue. So this century, in order to be peaceful century, I think the reality, we have to make this century of dialogue. It is possible through education, through awareness, through more contact. Unlike past time, now today, because of technology and also lifestyle, I think east, west, north, south is very much interrelated. So, you see, it is much easier to make friendship. Then, you see, we can build this century of dialogue. So all this very much related with sense of oneness of self-human being. So my number one commitment, promotion about basic human value. The second commitment, religious harmony. I am Buddhist. According to my own experience, you see, the message of various religious traditions, main message is message of love. As I mentioned earlier, various different major religious traditions is, I think, a promoter of love, compassion. If you properly implement, seriously practice, then all major world traditions carry same message. So religion, I usually see three aspects. Number one aspect is religion. That's practice of love, forgiveness, tolerance, self-discipline. contentment. Same. That's the religious aspect. Then the philosophical aspect. There's differences. One category of religion, believe creator. One category of religion, no concept of creator, but rather self-creation. Like that. And then within the theistic religion, there are differences. Within the non-theistic religion, there are differences. That's the philosophical part. Then we have to ask, what's the purpose of this different philosophy? Or some say there is creator, some say no creator. This is goal is same, to promote practice of love, compassion. According to different mental disposition, to some people, the concept of creator is so powerful. You see, we are almost like son of God. So God is our Father. So our Father, when we describe Father, infinite love. So we are son of that kind of Father. And this very life created by God. So you have some kind of intimacy with God. So more intimacy feeling, there's more willingness to follow God's way. Very more. To some people, that way of approach is immense to cultivate love and to promote love. Then non-theistic. See, your own future entirely depends on your own action. So therefore, helping other, compassionate action brings happiness to you. Anger's action, harm other, brings negative effect, negative consequences. So it's a that way of approach. You see, to some people, very powerful. I want a happy life. So the basis of the causes of happiness within my own hand. I have to act more compassionate act. I should resist harmful action to others. So to some people, that way of approach is very good. So therefore, doesn't matter different philosophical views, but same purpose. So I always look that way. So therefore, I really make mind. All different major religious traditions, all have same potential. Different philosophical views, the same purpose. So therefore, you see, when we look there, when we look that way, then genuine of respect, admiration towards all different traditions. So this is harmony must come on certain mutual respect. And in order to develop mutual respect, mutual learning, close relations, remain distance, separately, and say harmony, not practical, not effective. Now here, I think India's 1,000-year-old tradition, ahimsa. Ahimsa is an action or physical, verbal action. Physical, verbal action, whether violent action or non-violent action, entirely driven on motivation. Out of compassion, out of sense of concern of their well-being, respect their right, then verbal action, physical action become non-violent way. Out of anger, fear, suspicion, even so, even if it's a nice word, essentially violence. So the demarcation, violence and non-violence, we cannot sort of make distinction on the sort of appearances of physical action and verbal action. We have to sort of think motivation. Motivation, compassionate motivation, that even a little bit harsh word. I think some parent, you see, out of sense of concern of your little bit sort of naughty children, sometimes you use a little bit harsh word. My tutor also uses sometimes harsh word use. So I realize it's out of genuine sense of concern about my own education, my own well-being. So that is non-violence. And someone, this is some different motivation. This is smiling. They're smiling, artificial smiling, not genuine smile, isn't it? Some I used to call genuine smile, artificial smile, and a diplomatic smile, isn't it? Inside, oh, how to cheat that person, how to deceive this person, isn't it? So therefore, no matter what sort of expression, physical level, or physical action, or verbal action, the demarcation, violence and non-violence should be the motivation. So any action out of sense of concern of others' well-being, and out of compassion, that is non-violence. Non-violence. So like that. So when we pay more attention about non-violence, we have to pay more attention about mental health. So now, in order to promote non-violence, we have to look seriously existing education system. Existing education system very much oriented about external values, material value, not much talk about our inner value. In the past, as far as inner value, I think the modern education started at that time. Moral issue, moral principle, that religious institution carry full responsibility. So at that time, it is sufficient. Now time passes. Now, for example, today, out of 7 billion human beings, over 1 billion non-believer. And also, you see, among the believers also, some sort of quite mischievous believer also there. So these are lack of conviction about moral principle. So now, the religious promotion of moral principle relying on religious faith, not adequate now, not effective. So we need another way, another method. That's through education. So now here, education is something universal. So like India, this is when India, 1,000 years, different institutions there. So the concept of secular term. In the West, some might plan, this is secular means disrespect religions or remain distance from religion. According to Indian understanding, as some might plan in the West, even you see, they have the view, the secular, some close connection with atheism. According to Indian understanding, not that. According to Indian understanding, secular means respect all religions and also non-believer. That's why I think very relevant to this world. So modern India, when India's constitution, you see, made, because India multi-religious nation, therefore India's constitution based on secular. Secular person. So this is not at all. This is the religion. So when I use the secular, this is according to Indian understanding. So now, time comes, the way to promote inner value through secular way. So, in the education field, from kindergarten level up to university level, I think in education field should include about education, moral education. Moral, if you are a believer, wonderful, you are a believer. Very helpful sort of instrument to promote, as I mentioned earlier, these inner values. If you are not much of interested about religion, okay, that's up to individual. But you have to be kind person, effective person, because your own interest. But that we can educate through education. So, now time comes, I think that we should seriously look existing education system. Obviously, we have this body, and the materialistic sort of education provide physical comfort. So for mental comfort, we need some kind of education or knowledge how to bring inner peace. So more and more people rely on drugs. Why? They have some sort of problems, stress, too much stress, or anger, like that. So we need awareness through education. When anxiety, fear, these develop, the effective way through mental thinking, through countermeasure. So this, I think, should be our modern education system. Now, last 10 years, almost 10 years, number of scientists and also educationists now really carrying some sort of research work, how to implement in secular education field, because this moral ethics, education of moral ethics. So, once moral ethics, compassionate sort of attitude there, then this harmony automatically comes. The third, I am Tibetan. So I think that 90% of Tibetan people trust me. So I have some moral responsibility. Now, as far as political responsibility is concerned, since 2011, I totally retired. No political responsibility. The political matter is elected political leadership handling that. I completely retired. Not only myself retired, but also 4-century-old tradition. Dalai Lama institution automatically become head of both temporal and spirituality. Now that voluntarily, happily, proudly ended. So now I'm just an ordinary citizen of Tibet. Like that. Now my commitment regarding Tibet is preservation of Tibetan culture. Tibetan culture is, I think, culture of peace, non-violence. Ultimately, culture of compassion. Tibetan children, young age, we don't know about these difficulties, complicated Buddhist philosophy. But simply, we have the habit, don't kill animal. Don't kill mosquito. I must confess, mosquito. You see, when my mood good, and there is quite sort of sure, no malaria carrier, then occasionally I give blood. But then, one mosquito comes, yes, give blood. Second come, a little hesitate. And then the worst thing is, when I got to this very sound sleep, then that's happened. Quite violent way like that. So basically, Tibetan childhood, we always is a resting, killing insect. So that's very good. It's from childhood. This is some kind of respect for others' life. So that kind of cultural heritage is whether believer or non-believer, whether religious minded or not. Really, basis of ahimsa, non-violence. So in that respect, I often see telling, I think several thousand years ago, we have no concept of leadership. Then gradually, population increased. Farming system also started. Then, you see, the feeling of mind, you see, greater. So some stealing or bullying, these things happen. Then, human community, you see, find we need leadership. So at that time, no role of education. So therefore, in order to become leadership, it's a physical strength. Like other elements, most sort of physically is more stronger. Usually we carry leadership. We human beings also like that. So that even sort of religious sort of field also some kind of male dominance. You see then. So then education develops. Education brings more equality. So now, 21st century, existing education, as I mentioned earlier, not so adequate in order to build healthy human being. Healthy mind, healthy body, existing education, only healthy body, not healthy mind. So now here, you see, we need a special effort for promotion of compassion or love. In this respect, biologically, female have more sensitivity about others' pain. Therefore, female should take more active role regarding promotion of human love, affection. That's my view. When I talked these things, so one my friend described towards me, you are feminist Dalai Lama. So I'm really committed. You see, firstly, in the society, I think here, how many Indians? Raise hands. Okay. You see, in India, still, you see, some discrimination, isn't it? Particularly in the rural area. And also caste system. I think now outdated. So I mentioned, you see, all religion, three aspects: religious aspect, philosophical aspect, then culture or habit. So that, from time to time, accordingly the existing situation, you have to change. Caste system, outdated. Religious discrimination, or male discrimination. So therefore, and then, like Islam. Islam, religious aspect, wonderful. Since my childhood in Lhasa, you see, a few thousand Muslims there. Last 4 centuries, These Muslims, very peaceful, and almost no record quarrel carried by these Muslims. Very peaceful. And then, after, say, India, and after I reached India, most of the connection with Muslim, Indian Muslim. So I learned genuine Islam follower, Islam practitioner. If carrying some bloodshed, actually no longer genuine practitioner. Wonderful. And then Islam practitioner must extend love towards entire creature of Allah. Wonderful. Then the meaning of jihad, not hitting other people, but jihad means combat your own internal destructive emotion. That's the meaning of jihad. You see, at that time, the great servant, the founder of Muhammad, the nominate area. So, no proper rule. Some criminals. So, in his teaching, emphasis, according to that sort of reality, situation, Sharia law. So yes, now ahimsa, sort of very, very strict ahimsa and vegetarianism. At the time when Mahavira came, even so, animal sacrifice. So even you see the effect of farming economy. So such period, Mahavira came. Because of that circumstances, he emphasizes ahimsa, and not killing, and vegetarianism. And after I think 3-4 decades, Buddha, similar sort of emphasis, ahimsa, respect to life. So the existing sort of circumstances is also, you see, cause certain teaching. There's a certain sort of habit. So that part, situation change. So from time to time, then accordingly we have to sort of change. No need to change about religious faith or philosophical field, but cultural field, I think we need. So therefore, this is some, say, Indian sort of tradition, as a tradition, but you need to change. That I often used to tell you when we had some sort of gathering with spiritual leaders in India at that time. So, preservation of Tibetan culture. And then, very important thing is the preservation of environment. Tibet, many Indian sort of ecologists, they say Tibet, because of high altitude and dry climate, you need special care about the environment. Once damage takes place, it takes longer time to recover, like that. And then major rivers, including Ganges, Brahmaputra, major these rivers which come through sort of India and also as a northern India and also Pakistan and to China, the Yangtze River, you see these Mekong River, also usually come from Tibet. So preservation of Tibetan ecology is very, very important. Not only concern for 6 million Tibetan people, but larger number of people in that area. These rivers, I think roughly speaking, over 1 billion human beings' life depend on these rivers. The whole northern India is very much dependent on these rivers. Occasionally these rivers also create a lot of problem. But basically without this, once these rivers dry, then immense suffering. So preservation of Tibetan ecology is very essential. So one Chinese ecologist, he wrote one article I saw a few years ago. You see, he found the effect towards global warming from Tibetan plateau is as much as South Pole, North Pole. So he described Tibetan plateau as a third pole, one Chinese ecologist. So that I sort of political try to make awareness importance of what delicate situation about Tibetan ecology. So yeah, friends, you see, when you have some opportunity, visit Tibet, and please study, look carefully about ecology. And also, you see, nowadays, you see more and more Chinese students, and also, you see, some visitors or some businessmen, women. So please talk these things. It is everybody's interest, and particularly the Chinese people, and Tibetan culture of peace, culture of non-violence, related with Buddha Dharma also Nalanda tradition. The Chinese Buddhist tradition also same source. Therefore, the Tibetan Buddhism immense useful to millions of Chinese Buddhists. Now China, over 400 millions Buddhist population like that. So therefore, already number of Chinese Buddhists is come to India. You see, receiving some kinds of talks like that, teaching like that. So therefore, it's a preservation of Tibetan Buddhism and Tibetan Buddhist culture. It's very much related so the well-being or benefit to large number of people in that part of the world. So, like that. So, number one, promotion of human value on the basis of sense of oneness of self-human being. This is responsibility of every self-human being. Please keep in your mind, think. If you feel some reason, then think more and share more people. If you feel these are nonsense, then forget it. No problem. Okay. And as well as religious harmony, please. Now here, Indian community. In the past, you see, some occasions when I met with some Indian sort of small community, I expressed it. You have a very useful tradition, ahimsa, and on the basis of ahimsa, religious harmony. This, every Indian community have the responsibility to share to more people. And this in England, I think Asians, Bangladesh, from Pakistan, also you see, more or less you see, live side by side. So occasionally, there is some Diwali like that. You see, because of the invite more people, different religious tradition, Islam, Hindu, or Buddhist, together, and invite your friend, European people, share the ahimsa. Over 3,000 years, ahimsa tradition. Ahimsa tradition really affects modern India. India, compared to neighboring state, much more stable and harmony. So occasionally some problem here and there. That's quite understandable. Over billion human beings, some mischievous people must be there. Over billion people like like you say, wonderful human being, then not human society. So some mischievous people must be there. So therefore it is understandable. But overall picture, I think compare neighbor states, Pakistan, Bangladesh, even Sri Lanka, India, very still, very peaceful. So this shows it is very live together. India, quite complicated country, and a developing country. So a lot of problem. However, 1,000-year-old your tradition makes peaceful, harmonious society. So you Indians should feel proud. And I often I'm telling I am son of India because, you know, my brain, every particle of my brain filled by knowledge and thought. Since my childhood, I studied. So very, very useful. And then this physical, now almost over 56 years, this physical survived by Indian dals, Indian chapati. So I'm son of India. Then my activities, I consider I'm a messenger of Indian tradition, Indian thought. So quite often in India, when I participate in some sort of gatherings with Indian sort of sadhus and religious leaders, I tell them, I appealing them, as a messenger, I'm quite active. Promotion of ahimsa, promotion of this harmony. Now my boss, the Indian sort of spiritual leaders and some of these sort of sadhus, you see, now they should carry more active sort of work promoting these values. Sometimes I criticize them. You see, they carry some pujas, some rituals, and some kind of put here, and go like that. It's not sufficient. Now come out to Bali and to tell 1,000-year-old these deeper value. And also some of these drawbacks. Now spiritual leaders must talk loudly, publicly, then public understand these sort of caste system, these things. So therefore, you see, I consider as a messenger of India. Now today, I really have the opportunity to talk my Indian brothers and sisters. Thank you very much. And then, some question? Yes. Thank you.